Washington Pod presents EARL Nightingale.
There seems to be an ancient predisposition in the human race to say no. It is, of course, a conservative response, a status quo protector, a reactionary response that says, I'm managing to cope with things as they are. Don't rock the boat. Don't introduce any new problems for me. Change of any kind always carries with it the possibility of change for the worse. We're reminded by Eric Hoffer in his book, The True Believer, that there is a conservatism of the very poor as rigid as that of the very rich. For the poor are managing survival. No matter how bleak their circumstances, they feel that any change may be for the worse. The very rich are quite content with things as they are, and they try very hard to keep them that way. But we all come from poor backgrounds, some of us more recently than others, and the ancient fear of making a decision that could result in disaster still haunts the corridors of our minds. However, successful people tend to say yes to life and its possibilities. They go out toward life in cheerful expectation of happy results. They enjoy the risks of considered opportunity and adventure. They've found that with their expectations, zeal, and commitment, they tend to win, and the occasional negative result is shrugged off as part of the game. We really don't have time to keep saying no if we expect to succeed. Survival should not be the only option for a human being. It's fine for horses and cows, and pigs and chickens seem to thrive on it. But simply surviving is stultifying and the beginning of the long slide toward oblivion for the man or woman. Human beings simply require more. It's important that we enjoy our time here and make some sort of contribution to the welfare of others. All but the bent and twisted psyches will go along with that. The lifetime takers are those who have failed to mature. Our joy comes from producing, giving, creating. Being happy seems to depend on the direction in which we're heading. Happiness depends at any given time upon our moving towards something we wish to bring about in our lives. We can feel it in the smallest things. For example, we're actually slightly happier when we're going out to dinner than we are on the trip home after dinner. We're happier Christmas morning than we are Christmas afternoon. We're happier when we're moving toward a goal than after we've achieved it. Remember the line, be choosy, therefore, what you set your heart upon, for if you want it strongly enough, you'll get it. Why should we not say yes to a life? Surely the most astonishing state in the vast universe. Life is natural on planet Earth, but we found it nowhere else. And being human puts each of us in charge of his or her destiny on this incredible planet, speeding through space on the great wheel of the Milky Way galaxy at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And as the great galaxy and the mystery of space turns on its invisible axis, we rotate around our life-giving sun, turning as we do on our own slightly wobbly axis with our captive moon. Think about it once in a while. We enjoy an occasional science fiction story or motion picture, but nothing can equal the reality of our existence. Here we dwell on this tiny grain of sand among billions of other grains and stars. Some of those stars are so large that if one were placed where our sun now resides, our planet would be almost in its exact center. And out of it all, we have this delightful blue planet, small but mostly agreeable, with its wonderful oceans and seas, its mountain ranges, its snow and glaciers and forbidding deserts and very dwellable places in between. It boggles my mind, and in the midst of it all, we're granted a holiday on Earth. How we tend to underestimate everything. How we look for a king to serve, before whom to fall on our knees in abject subjection. Tell us what to do, we shout. Show us the way. Lead us, we are sheep. Poor little lambs who've lost our way. Ba, ba, ba. We need only stand up and choose our first destination. We need to stop playing the fool. Aristotle said excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but we rather have those qualities because we've acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an art, but a habit. We are what we repeatedly do. but what we do is a matter of choice. Excellence is a habit. So is ordinary, common ways of doing things. So is a poor, substandard way of doing things a habit. We form habits to match our outlook on life. Aristotle said, "We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but rather we have those because we've acted rightly. We are what we do and how we do what we do, but what we do and how we do what we do are matters of personal choice. We are the only creatures on the planet Earth with a choice as to what we do and how we do it. And saying yes can lead us to excellence. Yes, I will do that to the very best of my ability, and doing it well repeatedly will lead to the habit of excellence. Excellence is a wonderful way to say yes to life. Excellence invariably brings us joy. The distinguished philosopher George Santa Anna said, "There is no cure for birth and death save to enjoy the interval." Excellence helps us enjoy our days. The distinguished Jesuit paleontologist Pierre Teilhard de Chardin said, "It is our duty as men and women to proceed as though difficulties do not exist. We are collaborators in creation." Our own great Henry David Thoreau put it this way, "We have only to proceed confidently in the direction of our dreams and live the life we have imagined to meet with a success unexpected in common hours." Sometimes one wonders how many times we must be bludgeoned over the head with liberating truth before we can muster the confidence to stand up on our own hind legs and build great lives for ourselves. We must clean the slate of all of our pet myths. It takes money to make money. If that were true, we'd have a world of poor people. Rich people had to start somewhere. You have to know someone. You have to get the breaks. You have to be lucky. God, how we love to surround our inactivity with nonsense of that kind. Personally, I'd rather go along with the great ones. Don't talk, listen. You can't learn anything when you're talking. Listen to that inner voice. I love the way James Allen put it in his classic little book, As a Man Thinketh. Dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. The greatest achievement was at first and for a time a dream. The oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg, and in the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs. Dreams are the seedlings of realities. You will realize the vision, not the idle wish, of your heart, be it base or beautiful, or a mixture of both, for you will always gravitate toward that which you secretly most love. Into your hands will be placed the exact results of your own thoughts. You will receive that which you earn, no more, no less. End of quote.